When you reach your teenage years and beyond, you enter what psychologists call the formal operational stage of development. This is when your brain starts to work in a more grown-up way, thinking in new ways. During this stage, you begin to think in more complex ways. You can solve problems using logic, and you start to think about abstract ideas. This means you can think about things that aren't right in front of you, like love, justice, or even the future. Hypothetical situations. For example, you can imagine what would happen if you changed something in a situation. You can think about hypothetical situations, like what if I had studied more for the test? Or what would happen if I could fly? Using logic. You also start to use logic more effectively. Instead of just relying on what you see, you can think through a problem step by step. This helps you make better decisions and understand more complicated things. Solving equations. For instance, when you solve a math problem, you use logic. You follow the rules and steps to find the answer. This logical thinking helps you understand not just math, but many other subjects too. Abstract thinking. In the formal operational stage, you can think about abstract concepts. These are ideas that you can't touch or see, like freedom or fairness. You start to think about what these concepts mean and how they affect the world around you. Fairness. Let's take fairness as an example. You might think about whether it's fair for one person to have more than another. You consider different perspectives and come up with your own ideas about what's fair and what's not. Testing ideas. During this stage, you also start to test ideas. You don't just accept things as they are. Instead, you ask questions and try to figure out why things work the way they do. Science experiments. For example, you might do a science experiment to test a hypothesis. You make observations, collect data, and draw conclusions based on what you find. This helps you understand how the world works. Developing identity. Another big part of the formal operational stage is developing your identity. You start to think about who you are and what you believe in. You may question the values and beliefs you grew up with and form your own opinions, personal beliefs. You might think about things like religion, politics, or your place in the world. You start to form your own beliefs based on your experiences and what you think is right. The formal operational stage of development is an important time in your life. It's when you start to think more like an adult, using logic and abstract thinking to understand the world around you.